Hey guys, welcome back to Review Lounge, and I'm here to do another review on Free Bert. This dropped today on Netflix, and this is basically kind of a play on Bert Kreischer's, real life family. So, he's a stand-up comedian, as we all know, and as you see on my screen, he likes to take off his shirt. He's well known taking his shirt off, and in his stand-up comedy. So in this one, it starts with the first episode. He's at Rob Lowe's birthday party, and of course, he takes his shirt off, does a comedy. Then Rob, Lowe tells him to, oh, wait, put your shirt back on and do it all over again. So he kind of makes it like he's all, he's basically known just for his, taking his shirt off, showing his belly and everything. And he starts having a realization is like, is that all what I'm known for? Is that all I'm known for is taking my shirt off and being this crazy outspoken person that just keeps talking and never really listens at all. So that's what it's about. He has has his wife, his two daughters. What I can say right now is I'm gonna say this right now. The person that really stands out in this 6 episodes short sitcom is the girl that plays his daughter, Isla. His daughter Isla basically is just a miniature him. Everything that he does, she backs it up. And also, side note, there's a lot of cursing in this show, especially by the kids, by everyone, but mainly by his family. So I'm possibly assuming that that's maybe how his real life is, where it's kind of everybody's freeballing it. Now I've seen some of I'm sorry, Bert Keisner's stand up a little bit. He had another show on there. I think it's something that's called, I think it's Wild with Bert, something like that, where he's in the wild and he's talking to a bunch of stars and smoking weed, things like that. That was pretty funny. But the first episode of this starts so strong. Like I said, he was in Rob Lowe, and he starts realizing, is that all I am? I take my shirt off, my body and everything like that. People don't take me seriously. So he gets home. I'm gonna tell you about the first episode. He gets home, he's talking to his kids and everything, and the daughter Isla, she loves his dad, but Georgie, his older daughter, don't like to be around because he's embarrassing. So eventually he takes the kids to school, drops them off. One thing he first sees, because it's a private school, so basically the kids are in a private school. He wants to be more involved now. He wants to maybe change his image a little bit. He drops the kids off. As soon as he drops the kids, as soon as he pulls up to the school, he's like, "Oh, a black kid." And I just started dying. And it's funny because it's a private school, majority is all white, so I like that. So he notices that his oldest daughter is not that popular, and Isla is basically mini me. Just she's so funny because she comes so quick with the quips and everything. She's like, "Oh no, she's not popular. Nobody likes her," and things like that. So he wants to find a way to help his daughter to become more popular. He thinks it's easy because he's a famous stand-up comedian. He just thinks that, okay, let me just go to my famous friends and do something and make it popular and all that. And he actually goes on T-Pain's um, live streaming with him, because T-Pain does really do that in real life. He does do a lot of streaming. He does a lot of gaming. He does a lot of online content. And he went on there, and Pac Jones was on there. It was just hilarious. A lot of things like that happened through the 6 episodes, trying to help his daughter, you know, with her social life and her family. Now, one thing I like about this is that he tries to help the family much as he can, help his daughter much as he can to fit in, and he goes to extreme lengths to help his family, through each episode, even changing his image. Eventually he's like, okay, let me put a shirt on. Let me change how I look. So he starts doing that, and that shows that he cares for his family. This You'll laugh through this whole episode. Each episode, you'll laugh so much. Like I said before, Isla, she's a standout. In my opinion, Isla kills it. Every time she's on screen, she comes quick with the quips. She comes quick, just standing up for her dad, being like, "Hey, dad, why you have to change? Be you. Be who you are." And I just love it. And there's a lot of cursing. The kids curse crazy in this show, which I'm kind of noticing people are kind of surprised or weird about it. But I'm like, I mean, have you seen Talladega Nights with the Will Ferrell and the kid actors in there cursing a storm up? So, kids cursing in movies and TV shows is nothing new. I find it hilarious, especially when it's done right. Now, cursing just to curse. will get kind of redundant and just, boring. But when it's done in a right way, in a comedic way, it's going to hit every time. And it did hit every time the kids cursed because it's between Bert, his wife, his kids, and as they converse, it goes smoothly. You really think that they're a real family in real life. And if this is how his family acts in real life, I kind of want to hang out with them. But as you're going through each episode, you see that he keeps trying very, very hard to help his daughter, help protect her, help her become popular, help her become comfortable. And I like that. Now, there's a weird subplot in this show dealing with one of the kids that his oldest daughter, Georgie, likes. Um, I'm not going to spoil it, but at first I thought it was the people in the show because he has kind of rivals, but he becomes friends with them. I thought they were really messing with him, but as you keep watching it, it gets kind of serious. But as you watch it and they're being serious with the subplot in this show, you get kind of like, really? This wasn't a joke. This is real. This is happening to that person. And that kind of distracted me just a little bit from the show because I thought it was just them messing with them, but it's real. And it's not a spoiler because I want to let everybody know that when you think that these people that he's trying to become friends with, at first he hated, but he tries to become friends with them, and one of the characters tell him about something, and you think, oh, they're probably just messing with him. But as you go through each episode, it's really a part of it. It's nothing that they're messing with him. It's really part of the show. And I was kind of surprised about that. But the way they executed it was very maybe off-putting. Where okay, I thought it was a joke, but it's not. It's serious. You're trying to make it serious. So at times in the show, it kind of makes certain things serious, but also joking. So sometimes that balance is kind of off. But I still did like the banter that Bert has with his family. That's the perfect part with his family is when they conversing back and forth. And each episode is funny. I think you get like so you get 6 episodes, about 30 minutes per episode. You could binge it in one day and knock it out. I binged it in one day and it was done with it. But I enjoyed every episode. The first episode hits hard, and each episode it stays like that. The last episode, episode 6, kind of dips a lot because it's trying to close everything, and it does, but it doesn't pay off as you would think as the first episode. The first episode starts high, and the second episode, comes down just a little bit. Each episode kind of goes down little by little. It don't stay up that high, but it doesn't mean that's a bad show. It's just that it's not as strong as the first episode. It kind of dips just a little bit by each episode. So you're in this high and you get down probably about in the middle. Like, okay, it finished, but you felt like it didn't stay strong as the first episode. And every time Bert's on the screen, he is hilarious. He is funny, and I loved it. And his wife, she's just as funny as him. I love enjoying her banter between him and Bert. I mean her and Bert all the time. I enjoyed it. Free Bert is a fun comedy just to binge watch it and get it done. You will laugh and you will not be disappointed. Now, sometimes you feel like, why is this part of the show? I'm sorry, why this part of the show is it serious? Sometimes it's not kind of funny, kind of weird. Some of the jokes get kind of cringy at times, and cringy in a way where it's not cringy funny, but cringy just to be cringy. Like, okay, we get the joke, dial it back just a little bit. I think you're going a little bit too far. Some of these jokes, um, and that some jokes I can't really say, but they lean on it too much. Like, okay, we get it, reel it in a little bit. Stop staying on that same joke. We get what you're doing. Let's move on to the next one. They do that. They linger too much on some jokes. But besides that, you still get the heart of the show where a guy thinks that he's a one note, where he thinks that he needs to change himself to fit in. And I like how he has his daughter, Isla, where she tries to tell him, you don't have to do that. But on the other hand, he's trying to do it to help his daughter out. So you have this two balances where I want to be myself, but also I will do anything for my daughter to make sure she's happy. So I think also with that, it relates with a lot of people in our lives, especially us as parents. We would do anything for our kids to make sure that they're happy, no matter the cost of us. And that's what you get from this show as well. That's why I enjoyed this. You get the meaning of the plot of him, what he's doing. We also understand, hey, you shouldn't have to change yourself to fit in. You need to be yourself. But also, I see how you want to help your family, help your daughter out, no matter what. I enjoy Freebird. Each episode had me laughing. At times, the jokes were kind of cringy. At times, the jokes could have been reeled in much quicker. But all in all, this is a fun binge watching episode. It's only 30 minutes. There's only 6 episodes. You'll knock this out what in a couple hours, honestly. You just put it in, let it play, let it binge. And as we know, on the East Coast, people might get snowed in. This is a good snowed in show to watch and knock out and put it on your playlist. I will put this on your watch list on Netflix and just knock it out. It's something that you would watch and you enjoy. But all in all, this is a fun show to watch. I enjoyed it, and I couldn't stop watching it because I wanted to go ahead and knock it out and finish and see how the story ends from him changing, but also for him to, hey, maybe he need to realize that he doesn't have to change himself to fit in. Just be yourself, and if people can't accept you for you, then they don't need to be in your circle. And that's what I got out of this show, and I truly enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it. I think I will give Free Birds out of 5 out of 5. I would give it a 3 out of 5. I give it 3 out of 5 because at times the jokes could have been reeled in. I think that certain jokes in the show that I thought it was a joke wasn't. I feel like they probably could have maybe changed up a little bit with that. I didn't care for that. Certain storylines in there that you thought was, oh, this is got to be fake, where they were kind of being serious about it. They could have executed a little bit better with it. I think that was also some characters I felt like we didn't flesh out enough, maybe just in the short 6 episodes. I wish I could have got a little bit more of the other characters, a little bit more, but I still enjoyed it all in all. I feel like this is a show that everyone should watch. Knock it out. You knock it out within a couple hours, and you enjoy it. So make sure you leave a comment below. Make sure you share and subscribe, guys. Until the next review, I'll talk to you later, guys. Peace.